Or it crashes the game, don't worry.
Yeah, don't
Oh,
worry about
okay.
that. I said, of
That's new.
course, at its finest. Apparently, it's been in the game the entire time.
Yeah, it's because it's a game that's been ported over from PC, so
So it's got some small bugs, huh?
small.
I mean, that's a pretty
Can't
big
blame it.
bug.
Yeah. Yeah, one bug, I can't map my R2 or L2 buttons for my
Yeah,
wheel
and there
pro.
can I.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah,
Would have
I
been nice to
used to be
have.
able to, but you know.
They'll patch it eventually.
Yeah, but
Wait, give me a second.
So I wasn't paying attention. The race is going to be in the dry.
yes,
I
I will
wonder if
keep
these.
you updated. I'll keep you updated on all weather proceedings as it happen.
We got the in-race reporter and the winner man
Yeah,
all in one. Nice.
yeah, of course.
Of course, now my mum fucking wants me. She can wait. No,
Let's go.
no, because I'm doing cameras.
Uh,
Yeah, so I would if I wasn't doing cameras, but I am, and I don't want to leave
yeah,
the Greek by himself for the first lap.
yeah,
So
because it's very hectic.
yeah, so once it cools down a wee bit, I'm going to just quickly go downstairs.
That's
And
fine.
check. All right, yeah, that's all right.
Don't worry, I'll give you a warning though. Oh yeah, fuck, I meant to send him the stream, didn't I?
Yeah, you need to do that. That's quite important.
Yeah, just a wee bit. Your channel.
I actually do got the stream pulled up on my phone.
Hmm.
Copy.
Just remember to keep an eye on comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what was my thought too. I opened up, and then I did see. I forget who mentioned it. J Palm said it did mention that there's only a dry set of tires and a wet set of tires.
Yeah.
Are we
So
starting
I was
yet?
like, okay.
5 seconds before we start rolling.
Okay.
I'll let you know when. I'll let you know when the back two are rolling.
Yeah. 1 second.
Right, last two are rolling. Go.
Right, coming in now. Connect.
Join it. Confirm. All right, I'm loading in.
Yeah, I'm coming in now. Oh shit, wrong password.
Of course, the track's still fucking damp.
Yeah, it looks like I'm joining now. Says we got some rain.
Right, yeah, I put in the wrong password. I put in Motive Racing. As we're just waiting for the G to tell us when we're live.
Ooh, someone just went off on the formation lap.
Yeah, well, we are back live now watching this ACC GT3 race at Silverstone. Our in-race reporter has told us that the track is still a wee bit damp, as Lock and Load is on pole position. So, the Greek, any idea who you want to win?
My favorite to pick here would be the only G. Really close to that lap time that Lock and Load said during qualifying, so I feel like they're going to have a good battle.
Yeah, that was a very good lap time. In fact, those top six covered by less than 1 second as we come into this hour-long GT3 race here at Silverstone.
So what do you think with these damp...
We'll just quickly go through the grids. As we've got Lock and Load on pole, the G in second, Marty in the Aston Martin in third, Mantless in fourth in that big Bentley, probably one of the biggest cars out there, followed by Rakim in the Lexus. We saw the Lexus was struggling a wee bit in the last race, as we've got another Aston Martin of Normac in 6th place. Kurt, if anyone crashes, it's Kurt's fault in the Pink Panther McLaren in 7th place. We've got Chris in the Run DJC colours of Run DJC in the Porsche, and Dr. Benji in, as someone goes flying through the lot of them, in the Brawn colours of the Ferrari. Greenwood in the Audi, Dash in the McLaren. Ian himself didn't get to set a lap time in the McLaren in 12th place. And we'll actually quickly go back up to the top as they are about to go off racing. They're just coming around the very last corner, all forming up. A few drivers are all over the place. We'll not look at them. Yeah. Hopefully they can get in place properly. We saw these McLarens were fast last race as they slow right down with the ONG's AMG right beside him, wanting to get a better start off the line, as it will be flat out hopefully through the first corner. As we're just trundling along here through the very last corner of the track.
Waiting for the green.
Yeah. As they crawl at a snail's pace up to the line. I believe that's the game making them go that slow, and we are green as Lock and Load takes the lead, or keeps the lead even. The only G is going to want to go up his inside and try and get him to the S's.
Wall's right behind him.
Yeah, as we are seeing Normac, as someone went off, I believe.
Somebody's been knocked off.
Yeah, Normac is fighting against Kurt and just everyone, it seems, getting pushed a bit wide.
Richard is the one that went off.
Yeah, well, I believe Normac's lost a few positions there, as our timing hasn't updated yet, so we can't really see how close people are. As actually someone's side by side. Oh, someone's spun at the back there.
Dash, the McLaren.
Yeah, Dash is not going to want that. As now that our timings are up, we can finally see how close people are to each other. As we're watching Greenwood and Benji.
The only G attacking Locked and Load. He's all over the rear end of him.
He is, as they're side by side coming through that corner.
He's looking down the outside there, the only G.
Yeah, that AMG looks like it's much more planted as he's going up the inside for this corner. And ooh,
right next to him. Ooh,
looked very much like they touched. Everyone's going wide.
Everybody going wide.
Whoa,
just missed their breaking point, I assume.
Yeah, everyone's just doing an IndyCar at Kota there. Just go as wide as possible. As the only G is pushing Lock and Load through these corners.
Putting a lot of pressure on him. Maybe trying to force him to sit in. There it is. Locked and Load running wide.
Yeah, well, the only G didn't really make up much time there. So Lock and Load's probably not complaining. But actually, the only G looks like he's gotten a much better.
Got a great run.
Yeah, he's definitely gotten a much better exit there. I wonder is the setup's very different. As the only G looks like he's going to try and take him on the outside. No, he's way too far back for that. As we're just getting a few comments coming in. J Palm saying that there's only dry and wet tires, and Lightblade saying JR on the pole. Come on, Team DJC.
The only G.
The only G. He makes a mistake. That is your commentator's curse there for you. Commentator's curse, the most powerful thing at motor racing. And that's
first
just giving,
race I'm commentary.
That it happened to me too. As Mantless now takes the lead. I will quickly pull up the standings and we can just quickly go through the standings as I'm looking for ACC.
Well, now that Lock and Load doesn't have to worry about the only G anymore, but he's still going to have a little bit of pressure from Mantless.
He really is.
I believe he's gaining. But it looks like Mantless is under pressure from Chris in the Porsche.
Chris in that tiny Porsche is just getting the air punched out of the way in front of him. By that huge Bentley of Mantless, as Chris is trying to get past him. And I've just got the standings up here. I believe these are the right standings. In first place is Kurt on the standings with 426 points. So he's going to be wanting to... Where is Kurt? He's in 4th place at the moment, so he's going to want to...
Made some improvements.
Yeah, he's going to want to go faster though to have any chance of getting up to Chris at the moment. He's quite a wee bit back in that pink McLaren, as JR Sim Racing is in second place. I wonder
I don't think he showed up.
I wonder is that JR Lock and Load, because I don't see Lock and Load here on the standings, so he must have changed his name or something. I'm not sure if our in-race
It's a
reporter
possibility.
can comment on
He's
that.
he isn't in the standings. He should be sitting. I think he's in the top 5.
Lock and Load. Am I looking at the right standings? Maybe that's probably my problem. ACC GT3.
It looks like the only G is under some pressure from that Bentley of Cam.
Well, Chris has just pushed that Bentley through. We'll quickly go
Oh
and look
no,
at
the
G's
only
off
G has lost
again.
it again.
the G has made another mistake. This is a night to forget for him. I wonder, is it still wet on track? If our in-race reporter can comment on
I'll
that.
tell you. No, it's greasy.
So it's quite greasy out on track, so the only G is probably not liking these conditions. He must have a dry setup on or something, with
Maybe
very
he does
low
have
wings.
the dry set of tires on.
As Mantless is right behind Lock and Load right now.
Definitely made up some time. He's only 0.2 of a second off Lock and Load.
Yeah, he really made up quite a bit of time, and Chris has also kept up with him. I'm not sure if there are quite a few battles going on. We'll quickly flick to this battle between 6th, 7th, and 8th, I believe it is.
Yeah, the only G.
Oh, as the only G.
he's gonna look to the inside.
He is, as our camera decides to not look at it, but he's going to try and go up the inside of this corner. Oh, no, sorry, the outside. I keep making mistakes on corners, but he's not going to have the speed to do it. But he has a
crossover.
he has a great exit compared to the Bentley of Cam, who Cam was fast in the last race. I believe he did take the win at the last race, but the G just seems to be much faster than trying to go up the inside there, not making it just a switchback. And
Ooh, little bobble by Cam.
yeah, he's up the inside. Will the G be able to keep it, as Cam goes quite wide there off the track? As they're side by side, we can't see who's actually in front as they're coming around this corner here.
Bentley's
And-
still holding the front,
This is some extremely close racing right here.
and they're giving plenty of room with no
They-
contact. Really
They really
good
are,
racing.
but the only G is just... Oh, as Cam
Oh, I don't think
gets...
so.
Cam does the switch back there, and he's on the outside though. The only G is
But
going to
the
have
only
the
G-
inside. Oh, as someone behind spins. Normac, that's Normac spinning. As the only G does not get...
Oh,
The only G actually, I was about to say, does not get a good enough run, but he seems to have gotten a much better run out of that than Cam in the Bentley. Oh,
I'm suspecting Normac must have lost it following the only G. It must have... Maybe he just had to check up a little too hard.
oh well, our in-race supporter has just admitted to killing another driver. As it looks like the only G is struggling with his rear end. I just saw his hands twitching there, as if he had some really bad oversteer. And he's lost quite a bit of time to Cam now. I wonder will he be able to catch up again.
Looking at these drivers, it looks like they really are struggling for grip out there.
Yeah, as we're just seeing Chris just drive across the grass, just cutting the grass for us. I'd say it's a wee bit too wet to be cutting the grass though, so that's not going to be what he wants.
Chris
And that's
getting a
giving
lot
Kurt.
of pressure from Kurt.
Yeah, that's giving Kurt a great opportunity, as Chris probably has some grass on his tires left over, and Kurt goes up on
Pulls
the
out the
outside.
slipstream.
Will he be able to get around him? No, he seems to go very wide there. No, he's side by
Attacking
side.
the outside, he might be able to get him on the outside.
He will have the inside line for this next chicane.
He
And
passed him, he got it done.
He makes
Wow.
that move.
Oh.
Oh, as Chris is coming and trying to
Attacks.
take it back, but no, it's to no avail. Kurt will take that. As that was quite a clean move. I can't complain. We can't blame Kurt for
Very
anything.
impressive to go around the outside, yeah.
Yeah, but that Porsche probably did have quite a bit of grass on it, which definitely did not help it. As we just flick back to this battle for 9th place between 4 drivers of Greenwood, Rakem, MRO, and Ratched, I believe they are.
Pack about 4 cars here.
Yeah,
Any one of them makes a mistake and they'll gain a position.
yeah, and points is everything, and they've just caught back to Benji, who seems to have lost a lot of time compared to them. In the brawn colours of that Ferrari, I think we're going to need to question his choice of car and livery combination. As we're just watching them come down, The final
Looking at
straight.
the looking at timing right now, the only G is actually 8 tenths slower than our leader, which would be still quicker than our second place holder, Mantilus.
Yeah. Oh, as I say that, we look at the only G as he spins, and he's pointing very much the wrong direction. This is not a race the only G wants to be in right now.
Very much struggling.
As he's going to have to cut across the grass once again, so he's going to have very grassy tires. As there are more cars coming up behind him. That was very close from I don't know who that was.
That was Emo Guy and Dash.
Yeah, Emo Guy and Dash battling out at the back of the McLarens. But the only G probably not what he wanted as he goes and overtakes Emo Guy. Our in-race supporter. This is a great battle between these three. Much closer than the lead. We know the only G is much faster than these three drivers. I wonder, can Ian, Emo Guy, overtake, as the only G might make another mistake trying to get past Dash. Dash knows that he has made a mistake, so he probably
just got to be really careful right now.
Yeah,
he can't push that car with those dirty tires.
Emo Guy looks like he's going to try and go up on the outside, but to no avail. As the only G, it seems he's getting much better traction out of the corners, but sometimes he just is a wee bit too heavy on the loud pedal and just spins it round.
It could be he might be braking a little too heavy and upsetting the rear end going into the turn, and then as soon as he wants to try to get back to the throttle, the car gets upset and loses it.
It could be a setup issue, as he's very close to Dash. Dash is probably going to need a pants change at the end of this race. Watching the only G right behind him tailgating.
Ooh, goes a little wide. That gives him the chance to go around him.
And that just gives the only G... Oh, but Dash is going to try and fight back. Will he get the switch back on him? He will not. The only G has that great...
Normac.
As Dash is really fighting back here with the only G, as Normac is right on the back of Ratched in that beaten up Lexus. That Lexus looks like it's been through the wars.
If you look in the back, though, you see that pack of 3 cars of the only G, Dash, and Emo Guy closing on them.
Yeah, well, we know the only G is fast. He did qualify in second, but he's had 3 really bad spins, which is not at all what he wants. And looking through his window, he does seem to be struggling with his wheel. So I wonder, is there a setup problem there? As we just quickly go back onto Normac and Wretched as they're fighting it out. So, any comments from you, the Greek?
This has been some great racing. There's been some great racing so far, and not just at the front, but all over. We have great battles going on in the back of the pack right now with the only G, and currently we got Kurt trying to close the gap to Matalus in the front. So
we'll quickly
definitely
look at
an exciting race so far.
Yeah, we'll quickly look at this 3 at the front. Kurt is going to want to get past Mantilus and then go for lock and load to give a Pink Panther win, as I believe he is the only Pink Panther, unless there is another pink car out there that I just have not seen somehow.
No, I believe you're right. I believe that is the only pink car. Oh, Mantilus goes wide.
Mantilus goes very wide. That's going to give Kurt the option, and he takes the option. No second chances there. He just takes it and goes wide, and that's going to give him free air to catch up to lock and load now. That was a lovely overtake. All these overtakes Kurt has done has been nice and clean. We love to see it here. And if you're enjoying watching this racing, make sure to click the link below and join up for our Project Cars 2 and a set of Corsa leagues, along with our F1 2020 leagues on Friday night that I myself race in. I'm not sure, what leagues do you race in, the Greek, here?
I'm currently signed up for the GT3 and Project Cars 2, the Formula Renault in Project Cars 2, and the Touring Cars in Project Cars 2.
So you're a Project Cars 2 fanatic, are you?
I am. I actually just bought ACC today.
Oh, well, very glad to have you in the box with me then.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
If I didn't have you, I'd probably be on my own. So, it's like the blind leading the blind. As we're just on board with Greenwood right now, and Rakim is right behind him. In fact, this battle for 7th between these 4th drivers is extremely heating up right now.
Rakim is trying to look for a way around Greenwood.
Yeah, Rakim is just trying to do everything he can, and that's just giving MRO the chance to push him even more. Actually, in fact, Cam. Oh wait, no. Marty seems to have made a mistake and let Cam buy it. But we'll go back to this battle here between these lads, as the Audi of Greenwood is just struggling, it seems, because Rakim has just got so much faster. It looks he just can't get past him. As
it looks like Rakim is a
wide.
lot quicker in the turns.
Yeah, it must be just the difference in car, because the Audi looks like it would be fast in a straight line, and the Lexus looks like it would be fast in the turns. So that could be.
Come together at the back. Dash and Ratchet.
Oh, as Dash is in the pit, he's just retired to the pit.
Did
so,
he retired? Yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to be a lap down. Excuse me. By the time that we get back up and running.
Our retirement system hasn't updated yet, so I don't know who's running last at the moment.
I believe that is.
Ratchet.
Who's running last? Yes.
Ratchet.
Ratchet must have had a big accident because he was in this battle
he
for.
came together with Dash.
Right, okay, because he was in this battle for 4th place, I believe.
No.
Oh, not 4th place.
No, he was in the back. That's another Lexus.
Yeah, I'm getting mixed up with these Lexuses as Rakim goes up the inside of Greenwood, very cleanly coming through these last few corners. As there's 45 minutes left of this race, so this race is still anyone's race.
Can Rakim chase down Dr. Benji now? Maybe put some pressure on him.
I don't know. He's gonna want to, and get that free air. We know he's faster than him, as he was faster than Greenwood by quite a bit. One man though, who we've not watched much of, but is just head and shoulders above everyone, is Lock and Load right now. He's got nearly a 3-second gap to this man Kurt in the Pink Panther. So Pink Panthers are probably going to want to pump more of their drivers in to beat Run DJC, as it is quite competitive between those two groups, even though they don't really get anything at the end of the day apart from a big family, basically.
Just checking out the comment section here real quick. We got the wall _34 in the comment section saying, "Good luck, guys. Go, 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 Dr. Benji." Yeah, so Dr. Benji getting some support in the comment section from the wall.
Yeah, Dr. Benji. Hopefully he doesn't meet any other walls, and he can finish in 7th place, which would be quite good, considering he's dropped off quite a bit to Marty Road Racing in that Aston Martin. So this race for 8th place seems to have gone from a battle of 4 to a battle of 3, as it looks like MRO has, I believe it was MRO. Yeah, MRO has
dropped
lost
off
a
the
lot
pace.
of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's running that. It's a nice blue, like a baby blue, and a hot pink car livery, which I like it. I can't lie.
I think it fits the Lamborghini pretty good.
It does actually. Like, the Lamborghini is kind of a meme car in my opinion. So like, it kind of reminds me of that. I can't remember which DJ it was who wrapped his Lamborghini in the Nyan Cat livery. I think it was Deadmau5, was it?
It was Deadmau5. Or was that a Ferrari?
I'm
trying to remember.
Genuinely can't remember.
It was an Italian
Ferrari.
Yeah, I believe it was Ferrari because Ferrari sent them a notice to cease and desist and to remove the wrap.
Yes, it was a Ferrari, because Ferrari has done that with a few of their celebrities, as we're just on board with the only G, who's going to want to be coming up to collect MRO and get past him.
He's making great time so far.
He really is. I wish that there was a way, like on Project Cars 2, where it shows lap times to see who's faster than who, but sadly we just do not have that capability here on ACC. As we see Dash and I don't know who that is. I think that's actually Cam at the very front. Wait, give me a second. Yeah, Dash and Cam are fighting it out, even though Dash is a lap down, so he's going to be fighting to get his lap back from 5th place. As we're back on board with Rakim here. It's kind of all thinned out apart from this battle for 7th place now. Did we lose someone else in front?
Battle for 3rd though. Chris is looking up the inside of Mantalus.
Oh, and he does it.
He got the better run.
Just as we flick back to them, and he will have the inside for this corner, so He's going to want to keep that inside
but
that small
big
car.
Bentley power come down. Oh, he brakes a little later, Chris. He's going to run wide.
But the Bentley's going to try and do the switchback. Will it work, though, is the big question. He will have a better run coming out, probably.
Chris has the inside of this turn, though. And Chris is going to complete the pass.
That was a lovely
Chris
move.
is now up into third.
So Chris is now on that final podium position, but there's still 41 minutes left of this race, and Mantis is right behind him, pushing him through those corners.
Going to try to retaliate a little bit.
And I hope we get to see them two race even more closer. As we just quickly go back to this battle for 7th place, as I believe someone in front of them spun, because it was a battle for 8th, but now it's a battle for 7th. Whew. As this is the first ever time that I've commentated an hour-long race like this with a new person as well, so apologies if it does get a wee bit quiet in the commentary box, as we're just watching Greenwood here pushing Rakim through these corners, as the camera is just dangling onto them now. And will he get a better run coming out down the hanger straight?
I'm not sure if the only G had made another mistake, but he just went around Normac again. Because if I recall, he was behind MRO just a few laps ago.
Yeah, he was right behind him, and now so the only G must have some sort of setup problem where he's just struggling with that rear end, which is not what we want to see. As I'm just looking in the chat right now, Humble Racer is saying go the only G. So the only G does have support, but sadly he's not being able to live up to it, as this battle for 7th place is the best battle going on at the moment. So this just shows
MRO picked up the pace. He's back onto that group of 3 now.
Yeah, so all these drivers must have slowed down, or he must have sped up quite a bit. But this just shows that all the drivers are great whenever it comes to racing in this tier.
Great battles up and down the leaderboard so far. Hasn't really been a dull moment.
No, not really. There have been a few, like a minute or two, but the cars have always been close on track, especially these 4 right here. I don't think these 4 have left each other's sight the entire race since they've gotten in this small pack.
Yeah, with Rakim right now putting a little bit of pressure on Dr. Benji.
Yeah, Dr. Benji.
It looks like Rakim is better on the brakes.
Dr. Benji knows he's the slowest one out of these. That's why he's at the front, and they're all right behind him. As it looks like Rakim is going to try and go up on the inside. No, the outside. Will he be able to make it? Is the big question. And it doesn't look like it. These 4 drivers they're extremely closely matched.
Put on a great show so far.
They really have. They've given us something entertaining to watch and something to at least commentate over, so it's not the blind leading the blind here. I forget who my driver of the day was, or who I wanted to win was. Do you remember who yours was?
Mine was the only G, but Commentator's Curse right now has done him in.
Yeah, and I can't remember who I said. I think I said, you know what? I couldn't even tell you because I don't remember.
Was it Kurt that you picked?
It could have been
Pink
Kurt.
Panther?
I think it was Kurt actually, but Kurt has been doing quite well, and he's gone from 5th place up to 2nd, I believe it was.
Still trying to chase Lock and Load. That gap is still staying at about 3.5 seconds at the moment.
Yeah, Lock and Load seems to have really pulled out a time on him. But these four are the ones to watch right now. Everyone else is just strung out. These 4 are really putting on a good show for us.
Yeah, this is about the only good battle right now on track.
Yeah. And if I had the list right now, I would thank all the patrons. They know who they are. Thank you very much for supporting Motive Racing. There's also a link in the bio, I believe, if you want to become a patron of Motive Racing. It is greatly appreciated. Helps run our Assetto Corsa servers, as they do cost money. And then we get to see great racing like this going on right now.
Remember, guys, if you're liking the stream, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the Motive Racing YouTube channel.
Yeah, we've got 13 viewers watching now, but only 10 likes. So come on, there are 3 of you out there who haven't liked. we will find out who you are. And we will ask you politely to like.
Like the video, or else.
And also, if anyone's in the comments and wants us to talk about anything in particular about drivers on the grid, then as I say that, MRO goes off.
Oh,
he spins
MRO's off.
He spins
he
off.
gained that position on Greenwood and has just lost it.
I just watched what happened and my heart just sank. He went over the curb and just bounced too much and just lost traction on his front tires and was gone, pointing in the wrong direction. And that's given G a position.
Yep.
And this battle from 4 has gone down to only 2 now. But the G is he's catching up at a rate of knots.
I'm gonna go. They can up the outside actually.
Yeah, as we just click back onto these 3, the closest battle still going on at the moment. As actually, I believe there's even a closer battle between Cam and Mantless. The 2 Bentleys. So
the 2 Bentleys going at it, yeah.
These 2 are going out to make sure they give each other plenty of room, as they are. We don't body shame here. They are the biggest cars on track. But that is perfectly okay.
Cam a little twitchy on the exit of that turn right there.
Yeah, well, these 2, they are driving the same car, but that does not mean that they've got the same setup. So one car could be better in one place compared to the other car. As just looking at the timing. Oh wait, never mind. Cam seems to have gotten a much better time. I'm not sure if there is a mandatory pit stop. I think there is.
Yeah,
their
pits just open up. Who's gonna be taking who?
They've got 10 minutes to make their pit stop. If I was them, I'd probably want to leave it to last, especially if I was lock and load. But actually, speaking of that, I was just about to say it before Cam got that really good run.
We got 2 going into pits, Dr. Benji and Raycom.
Yeah, lock and load has lost a lot of time to Kurt. Or Kurt, I should say, has gained a lot of time. As we're just seeing quite a few of the drivers come in for their pit. We're seeing Benji, Raycom, and MRO. So MRO has caught back up to them. He's going to be wanting to have a good pit stop time to keep up with these guys. As we just watched the OMG now.
Emo guy, watch the wall, easy.
That's not where he wants to be in the wall, but thankfully he makes it into the pit lane and not into the stalls. As there's no battles going on at the moment. As we just ride on board with Mantless, who's lost a lot of time to Cam now. I wonder will lock and load come in as he's coming round the final corner. We'll see if he takes a shot and goes in. As we see actually next to their car numbers, there is a orange box or a green box, and that tells us if they've done their mandatory pit stops. So only Benji, Raycom, MRO and Ian have done their pit stop so far, as MRO and Emo Guy are both in the pits at the moment.
MRO leaving the pits right now.
Yeah, we'll quickly go on board with him, as he's probably hoping that they fix his car up a wee bit so he can have that pace back, because he had a few moments, but then he caught back up to that pack quite a few times. And also, just looking at the comments, JPAM just coming in saying, yes, I want to say I'm not surprised about G spinning constantly in the rain, or a damp track. Well, actually, our in-race supporter has said that the track is greasy, but I'm sure it's probably...
Yeah, it's green now.
Yeah, it's green now. Who's spinning?
The G coming really quick into the pits.
Oh, well, hopefully he stopped in time, because a time penalty would not be what he wants on top of all the spins that he's had. So hopefully he can get a new set of tyres and be out there racing again.
Who we got in the pits? We got Marty Racing, Greenwood, and Normac.
And the only G.
And the only G.
Yep. As Kurt has just taken out even more time on lock and load, so I wonder, Kurt must have just been saving his tires, and now that he knows lock and load is probably been eating up his tires, he's probably just going to push now as hard as he possibly can.
Maybe trying to close up that gap before they come in to make their pit stop.
That could be it, because you can make it or break it in the pit, as these two, I wonder will either one of them bite the bullet and come into the pit. As we watch on Lock and Load, he does not come into the pits, and neither does Kurt. I wonder will Chris bite the bullet out of these three. But it does not look like it. None of these drivers are.
No, Chris is going to stay out. What about Cam? Cam also stays out.
Mantle, will he come in? And it looks like he is coming in.
Mantelus is coming in.
Hopefully he slows down in time.
It also looks like Dash is going to follow him in, but he's getting a little loose on the entry to pit road.
Yeah, very fast in there as Dash also comes flying in. Ratchet is probably going to come in. He's halfway round. As there's nothing really happening out on track right at this moment in time.
Everybody's kind of strung out at the moment.
Yeah, well, some of them still need to do pit stops. So hopefully we'll have a nice race coming to the end.
It looks like that battle for, what was it, 7th earlier? It looks like that group is tightening up again.
Yeah, well, we're just on board with we're on board with Lock and Load right now, but we'll go to Rakim. See Wheels in that battle. In fact, I think he's. Where's that Ferrari?
Is he?
Benji has also made his pit stop. So.
We are at the halfway mark. Still a way to go.
Yeah, there's our in-race supporter has just told us that we are halfway through this hour-long race at the moment. As most of the drivers have come in and done their mandatory pit stop. Apologies for that yawn. Yeah, so some of these drivers at the back seem to be closing up quite a bit.
It's interesting right now. We actually have a couple cars mixed in with the leaders from cycling through pit stops. You know, as we have Greenwood on the back of it looks like Kurt.
Yeah, we're just right on board with Kurt right now. Back markers have will probably come into play later in the race.
With only 4 minutes left for the pit window, I wonder when everybody's going to decide to come in, if they're going to wait till the last minute.
As it looks like someone spun. I don't know who that is. I believe that's Normac. Yeah, Normac has spun in the Aston Martin, coming through the S's. The S's has been a murderer tonight. As Kurt has taken out more tenths.
Almost down to 2 seconds now.
Yeah, so Kurt seems to be much faster than him.
Must be using whatever he has left in that car to try to close the gap.
Definitely. As we're just riding him, I wonder what the PLY in the top right hand side of Lock and Load's thing means. Do you see that? PLY.
Let's see.
I'm not sure if that's an engine mode or something.
Platinum. It's a driver rank.
Oh, is it? Well, I can't say I understand the driver's rank, but if I was him, I'd be coming into the pit now because there's only 2 minutes 50 seconds. So 4 drivers still need to make their pit stop.
And we know the lap times from qualifying in the rain though was 2:07, so you might have enough time if you want to make one more lap, but it's a little bit risky.
Yeah, it's a little bit risky because if he slows down, or has a spin or an accident, as I say that, he's actually coming in.
He comes it in.
He's probably just done the
Kurt?
Duke. Yeah,
I think so. I think Kurt just got left out to dry. He's gonna have to make another lap.
Yeah, Kurt probably.
Maggots and Beckett's.
Who's off?
Some of them went off at Maggots and Beckett's. They're back on track now.
All right. But yeah, Kurt probably thought that Lock and Load was going to stay out, as Lock and Load made very late choice to go into the pit there.
Chris is gonna follow him into the pit now too in that Porsche.
Yeah, Chris is now in, but Lock and Load has been sitting in the pit for longer than Chris, as Chris hasn't even stopped yet, and Ratchet has also made his stop. So Kurt is the only driver yet to make his stop.
How will this play out now?
I don't know, but we've seen Kurt was faster than Lock and Load, and Lock and Load will be coming out on colder tires, so this is any man's game, I think, right now. As Lock and Load has just left the pits right now with Ratchet right behind him, I believe. Who's that? Or Reika, maybe?
Yep, that'd be
Wait,
nope,
who
that'd
is
be
it?
Ratchet. Yeah, being the Lexus. A Ratchet just left out with
these two
Lock and Load.
Lexuses are
What's
very
interesting
similar.
though is that Ratchet was in his pit stop before Lock and Load did, so I guess Lock and Load had a quicker pit stop.
Yeah, well, Ratchet might have had some damage and he might have been trying to get that done. But there's 50 seconds for Kurt. I hope he does know that. To come in and do his pit stop time.
Once you're the rules are, as long as you go into the pit stop before the clock goes down, it doesn't matter if you're still in it after it counts down.
Yeah, well, hopefully he knows that he has to come in this time and that he can't do one more lap. As I say that, he's coming into the pits. Hopefully he makes sure he stops in time as he starts braking.
Coming in really fast. Ooh.
Who put that
Hopefully
that 50 kilometers an hour sign right there? That's just asking to be hit. I know if I was one of them, I would have hit it by now. As we're right on board with Lock and Load, who's going to want to be going top speed right now.
Gonna try to make up as much time as possible to gain back that first place.
Yeah, as the pit window's closed, everyone has made their mandatory pit stop just about with Kurt. But we're just riding on board with Lock and Load right now. Coming through the last few corners, I wonder Kurt's engine is still off. So he's still on the jacks, changing his tires. We'll go back onto Lock and Load. Lock and Load, I think, will have him. Kurt is still on the jacks, and Lock and Load is coming onto the front straight.
Engine's still off.
As he's just been dropped off the
there
jacks.
it is, engine's fired. Can Kurt get out of the pits quick enough? He's at the end of pit road, so he doesn't have to wait too long.
But no.
As Kurt comes out of the pits.
Yeah, so Lock and Load is going to keep that position over Kurt. I wonder how much time he's lost.
Yeah.
Or gained, actually.
Or maybe he gained time.
Yeah, you never know. We know these two drivers are the best on the field right now, as they are in first and second. But we'll see any minute now, or any second now I should say, how close they are to each other. And it seems they're equal. They haven't lost or gained any time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Switching back over to the only G for the moment, it looks like Greenwood has put some pressure on him.
Yeah, I actually completely forgot about the rest of the track as we were watching those two. But there's not really many battles going on right now, apart from these two.
Yeah, it looks like everything has calmed down so far right now as we have cycled through pit stops.
I really wish that there was a safety car in this game, just to spice it up at the end. Give the only G that chance.
You know, the only G had that chance, he would be right back up there in the front with Kurt and Lock and Load.
Yeah, well, the only G is probably kicking himself in the shins right now, wishing that he did not make all those mistakes, as he's fallen all the way back down to 9th place.
Switching over to MRO for a second, I'm looking at Normac. He's trying to chase down him right now at the moment.
Yeah, MRO is probably going to want to have that pace that he had earlier. Unless he's got some sort of suspension damage. Not sure if that's in this game. Then he's going to want to be going fast, fast, fast. And possibly catch up to Greenwood. And this battle for 7th place that was happening earlier has completely fizzled out.
That 4-car, 3-car tandem is gone now, and it looks like just Dr. Menges is all by him own, just running his own lap times, running his race.
Yeah, but Rakim is behind him, but not close, sadly. 8 seconds separating them. But one man who's who's showing up between all of them, is the only G. He's shown that he is faster than them, and he's gotten between all of them. As we're in an extreme lull here. So, how are your other leagues going on Project Cars 2?
Sadly, I had a little bit. It was an up and down night last night for me in the GT3 cars on Project Car 2. Where in the sprint race, I was setting good pace. I believe I started second, dropped to third, and I ended up finishing second after I think it was Mazak Gaming.
As Greenwood, as you were talking, Greenwood just did a lovely drift coming out of the first corner in that Audi.
You're gonna lose all that time now that he was gaining on the only G.
Yeah, and he's probably cooked up his rear tires. But as you were talking about your leagues, you started second.
Yeah, I started second. I ended up finishing second in the sprint race after a decent run. But in the feature race, it ended up raining, and I just completely missed it on the rain setup. I thought I had it in practice, and it felt good. And in the rain, the car was just, it was a demon. It was undrivable.
Yeah. Were you racing in the Formula Renaults last night?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I was.
Yeah, I must say that was probably one of the most boring races you've ever raced in, was it?
It was boring for a little while, and then I believe I had a good battle with Fury and Sub-Zero for a few laps there, where I was trying to maintain pace.
Yeah, well, just looking in the comments.
My mistake there.
Just looking in the comments from Humble Racer, who had a really bad day yesterday. Yesterday, before the GT3 Tier 2 race, all my stuff decided to quit on me. I could not race. It was my favourite track, Watkins Glen. Yeah, that is gut wrenching. I saw him disconnecting a few times. He was in a practice session with me beforehand, and everything seemed fine, but just during the race, everything decided to just be like, nope, I'm not going to New York.
Project Cars 2 servers.
Yeah, just nope, not New York for me.
And one from me being from the States and from the great state of New York, I will gladly say I wouldn't want to go to New York either. If Watkins Glen was in another state, I would gladly go to it.
As there's, I wonder would Lock and Load, if he's listening, just like slow down just a wee bit and let Kurt catch up to him. Give us a battle.
Give it a little more excitement.
Yeah, just give us something.
It does seem like that Kurt closed up the gap though.
Yeah, Kurt. Oh, as you say that, Kurt.
It's
just gained
under
4
2
tenths
seconds.
on him. Yeah.
I think he did earn you.
Well, if Lock and Load did slow down on purpose, we thank you. If Kurt sped up, well done.
Switching back here, it looks like they're third, fourth, and fifth are tightening up. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. In between them is Richard. That's in between Chris and Mantilus.
Yeah, that back marker is hopefully not slowing anyone down. Jeez, that was a big voice crack. As Kurt has taken out another 10th on Lock and Load, so hopefully we can have a nice battle going on here as we're coming into the final 18 minutes of this race.
Really turning up the heat on Lock and Load.
Yeah, well, Lock and Load, we know he struggled at the end of the last stint. I wonder, has he figured out what his problem was and just hopefully tries to avoid his problems. As Kurt has taken out another 10th. Kurt has taken out 3 tenths on him.
Kurt making great gains at the moment. Either Kurt is picking up the pace or Lock and Load is slowing up. Maybe his car is going away.
No, actually, Lock and Load might know actually that his tires leave at the end of the race. So he might actually be saving tires at the moment.
Ooh, could be.
And then Lock and Load is burning up his tires trying to catch up and overtake.
It begs the question though, will Lock and Load let Kurt go and then just follow behind him in his draft to try to preserve his tires?
Well, I mean, these cars, they look quite hard to overtake unless the other one makes a mistake, because they don't have any ERS or DRS going into any of these straights, so it's just based on raw power and their setup. So Lock and Load is probably going to want to hold him a bit as Kurt gets under a second So thank you guys for finally giving us something to commentate over again. I wonder can Kurt gain any more time, as he's very close visually on the track now, but it's the timing boards that we're looking at the moment.
Waiting for them to update, maybe through the next sector.
Yeah, as they come across the finish line, it'll probably update. Oh, as Kurt has actually lost time.
Lock and Load must have been a little bit better to that last sector than Kurt.
Yeah, Lock and Load must have noticed that he was slowing down a bit, and he's just picked up the pace. He must have just seen the pink car in his rearview mirror. I was like, no, 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 I gotta run. But these two are the closest on track right now, so we'll ride on board with these two until we see another battle. As if Lock and Load makes a mistake, it will give Kurt the win, or the lead, I should say. There is still 15 minutes left of this race.
Down to 7 tenths.
Yeah, so Kurt must have made a wee bit of a mistake. That
Kurt
last time
Kurt must be much better through sector 1 and 2 than Lock and Load, but Lock and Load must be better through sector 3.
Yeah, so it's like Kurt is gaining a load of time, but then loses it all in the final sector. I wonder what it could be that's making him lose time. As in a few corners time, we'll see if he's gained any more time. Because when they're this close, it's hard to tell.
Is right on, yeah.
Because like tenths are in it, and like you can't see how close a tenth is really. He looks visually very close to him now.
Very close now. At least he's got to be at least 5 tenths or less. Off the back of Lock and Load.
3 tenths. Wow.
3
okay.
tenths.
So this is really heating up at the latter ends of this race.
With just under 15 minutes to go.
Yeah,
Kurt
so
really putting pressure on Lock and Load as Lock and Load goes defensive.
Yeah, Lock and Load goes very defensive, but that's going to give Kurt the opportunity to try and find a better exit coming out of this final corner, going on to the pit straight once again. For this will
Lock
be
and Load going a little wide.
This will be the 22nd time that they're coming through this section of the track. So he's right behind him now.
Maintaining that gap right now of 4 tenths.
Yeah. Well, we know he's faster in the first and second part of the track. So he's going to want to make his overtake there.
As they come out of yeses.
They're
down
extremely close to each other. Oh, 2.5 tenths. Or 2.5 tenths even. 2.5.
Slowly chipping away at Lock and Load's lead. It's almost diminished. It's almost gone.
He knows he's faster. Oh, and he's going to try and go on the outside, is he? Can't really see with this camera angle. No, he's not.
Gets a better run out of the corner, though.
He really does. This is
almost nothing between them.
Yeah, this is edgier
Lock
seat
and Load
stuff.
Going defensive.
It looks like they're side by side coming through this fast corner.
Is he gonna try around the routes? No, he's not.
No. These camera angles are extremely deceiving on ACC.
Kurt really putting on some pressure right now onto Lock and Load.
Yeah, well, Lock and Load knows he's faster coming through the final few corners. So he's going to want to take full advantage of that.
Can Kurt get a run right now coming down this straight?
He's going to go and try and go around the outside, but I don't think it's going to do anything. Oh, I say that.
Try. Oh,
he
a
broke
wee
on the
bit. Brakes.
Yeah, a little early on the brakes even. As these two have absolutely just driven off into the sunset compared to Chris.
Chris way back down there. Actually,
Yeah.
the timing system's saying he's a lap down, but I don't think
Oh,
that's
well,
correct.
no, that's just...
Kurt's got ahead, I think.
Who's gone ahead?
I think Kurt got ahead of JR.
No, we're still watching on this battle.
No, for me it says that Kurt's in first.
No, Kurt is in second.
I don't know.
You're questioning my
Kurt's
eyes.
still trying to find a way.
Yeah, Kurt is still trying to get past.
Looking for any gap, any way he can get around lock and load.
He knows he's faster in these first and second part of the track, but it's just that dirty air. He's just not being able to get alongside and then get past. And also, they're in the exact same car, so they have the exact same engine. As he's probably going to try and get a switch back.
This has got to be one of the most frustrating things for a driver is when you know you're the faster car and you just can't get around the driver in front because he just got that better line. He's holding the inside and he's really making it hard for him.
Yeah, that's why being a great driver doesn't mean just being fast, because you won't always be the fastest man on track. It also means you have to be great at defending.
Gotta be patient too. Really gotta wait for that right opportunity. You know, it will present itself.
Yeah,
maybe just put enough pressure.
As we're just seeing some comments coming in from Morgan saying cracking racing from these so far, and only Sakara, I believe that is, saying brilliant battle here. This really is a brilliant battle between these two front runners. And Kurt is being extremely patient here.
Little bobble from lock and load.
Yeah, as we're coming on to the pit straight again. Just about to start our final 10 minutes. This really is the best of the best. Just seen the comment there from Lightblade. I believe that has been my my most used phrase tonight, that these are the best of the best drivers in Tier 1. And they've been putting that on show all throughout the grid, from the battle to 7th place that we had between those 4 drivers earlier, to the battle for the lead right now between Kurt and Lock and Load, as Kurt goes a wee bit through the corner there, and Lock and Load taking it properly, so that's not going to help Kurt that much.
Not to take away from the battle that's happening up front, but it looks like the only G had finally got around Rakem G, finally closed up the gap and passed him, and now he's up to 8th.
Well, we'll quickly look at the only G. He's had quite a bad race. He's probably not going to want to remember this race.
Probably not, but he's making the best of it. He's actually going to be chasing down Dr. Benji right now, and he has a chance. With about just a little less than 10 minutes, he could get around them if he keeps up this pace.
If he doesn't make a mistake as well, that's also quite important. But we'll just quickly switch back to this battle for first place, as it is a wee bit more important.
It looks like Kurt lost out a little bit there, dropping down to 7/10 now.
Yeah, and as we see in the camera there, I believe that was Emo. Excuse me, I'm going to do an Andy. That was a hiccup. As we saw across the camera, Emo guy going across in those Run DJC colours. So I wonder, will back markers come into an effect? Because he's obviously not going to want to hold up Lock and Load at all, but he might try and hold up Kurt just a wee bit. Just hold him through a few more corners, just to let Lock and Load have a wee bit of a breather.
Well, this is interesting right here. Actually, just switching down to the bottom of the timing sheets. Dash has actually went around Marty Road Racing, and Dash is actually a back marker, so he's picking up, I guess, a lapped car.
Yeah.
Even though he is the lapped car.
Yeah, well, he's obviously faster than him. As these two are battling out.
Interesting to see a back marker and a car that's on the lap actually battle it out.
Yeah, as we just see another comment coming in from Humble. Patience is a good thing. Waiting for an opening can take a lot of time. It really can, as we're coming into our final 8th minute of this. I was about to call it a Grand Prix of this race. That would be about 4 laps,
Kurt
I think.
Losing some pace. Could it be that Kurt has used up all he had in the car?
Yeah, well, Lock and Load, he might have been saving those tires, as we were hypothesizing
Could be
a few minutes ago. And he's probably going to run away with it now if he has been. Now would be the best time coming into the final 7 minutes of this Grand Prix.
But we are coming up to a back marker at the moment. Could that be a wrench into this game?
Yeah, well, that back marker is, in fact, Ian, Emo Guy, our current in-race reporter, as I just saw Lock and Load. He went on the grass a wee bit there, and that's not going to help his front tyres.
Nope, don't want to get him dirty at this late into the race now.
Yeah, we
can't
saw
afford to make a mistake.
We saw how much time Chris lost whenever he went off, and Cam got past him. But obviously, Chris now has gotten well ahead of Cam, not needing to worry about that at all. As we just go down
just
to...
let them go on by.
Yeah, well, as we just go back to this battle between MRO and Greenwood. Very close racing.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're closer than the first two, I believe. So we'll watch these two for a while, and just keep a keen eye out on the front two at the same time. In fact, I'll quickly just switch back.
We got a battle right now with the only G and Dr. Benji. The only G trying to go around the outside of Dr. Benji. Back to them.
He goes very wide. I think he's gonna have to give that position back. I don't know. I think he's gonna have to give that position back.
He's still gonna complete the pass, but
he's gonna take the pass. I don't know. I think that needs to be penalised. You can't go wide and take. That's very much what happened at Bahrain between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, where Max went very wide and just took the position.
And had to yield it, yeah. So currently, the only G just holding the position as Dr. Benji is gonna retaliate.
I wonder, did the only G slow down a wee bit? No, he hasn't.
No.
But Dr. Benji is fighting back.
Goes up the inside.
But the only G is going to have the outside line. But Dr. Benji's at the inside line. Oh my! Yep. This is some very close racing as it pushes the only G off a wee bit. And they're going to be side by side coming up.
For Rakem.
Yeah, this is going to give
a chance for Rakem.
Dr. Benji's going to have the inside, but the only G's going to have the outside, and he seems to have gotten a better line. It's going to give him the inside for this. As Rakem's coming up to join the fight now between Benji and the only G, but Rakem seems to have, Benji seems to have a better exit out of that corner. Just had a wee word fumble there for a second. So there's a few battles heating up now as we're coming into the last few laps.
With 5 minutes left in his race.
Yeah. We'll quickly flick back as actually Kurt seems to be right behind Lock and Load. He seems to have gotten a much better exit coming out of that corner as they're coming down.
Kurt all over and following his draft.
Yeah, I'm glad I flipped back to this as he's going to have the outside line and he's side by side. But once again, he breaks too early coming into that corner. He knows what he's doing though. He is out there, I'm in here. So I don't want to backseat drive him. But he did break earlier than Lock and Load there coming through that corner into the hairpin. As we'll quickly flick back to this race between Benji, the only G, and Rakem.
The only G completing the pass, but Dr. Benji not letting him get away.
No, Benji's not letting him just run off after mugging him like that, as we just see Rakem go very wide there.
Rakem looking for any little bit of time he can to try to catch up to them.
Yeah. See, I don't know which race to watch because this race between the three of them is very close, but also actually I flick back to Kurt and Kurt is right behind Lock and Load once again.
Putting a tremendous amount of pressure right now on Lock and Load, maybe trying to force a mistake as he comes up right on the back end of him.
Yeah, these. Oh, as it looks like he's going to try and go on the outside. Lock and Load does a very defensive line coming through the chicane there.
That's going to sacrifice the exit though. Oh,
as Kurt is side by side.
Next to him.
Kurt's going to have the inside. As Lock and Load goes very
really
wide.
Could be. Maybe
and he's going to
be the lead.
He's going to keep the position. That does look like an everlasting advantage. Maybe a set of courses more lenient on the old rules. As Kurt goes side by side, but he's going to have the outside line. He might have the better switchback. Doesn't look like it. He's going to once again have the better racing line. As Lock and Load is very slow. Kurt has to put on the brakes a wee bit. He's only a tenth behind him.
Kurt with a great run coming out of those tight hairpins.
This is some extremely tantalizing race. As it looks like,
is he next
Kurt looks like he looks like he's side by side. As he hasn't learned his lesson that he needs to stop braking so early.
Going wide.
Yeah, this is some great racing as we're into the final last few laps. 2 minutes 24 seconds.
Oh, getting loose by Kurt.
Kurt gets a wee bit loosey goosey there. That's not what he wants.
Don't bid it now, Kurt.
Come on, Kurt. I know it's probably not good that you've got the commentators on your side, but we are hoping that you can get this back for the pink team.
Just 2 minutes left to go in this race, and it's been exciting here in the last bit.
This really has been quite an exciting race. I'm glad I've been in the box with you. as we both step in for this race.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I haven't been alone this entire time.
Definitely would have been boring, that's for sure.
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't have known what to do when there was no racing going on. Wouldn't have anyone to talk to.
Yeah. Switching back right now to the battle between the Only G and Dr. Benji. Dr. Benji putting a lot of pressure right now on him.
Yeah, that Ferrari is smaller than the Mercedes, so the Mercedes is punching a big hole for him. As the Only G looks like he did get on the grass a wee bit there, so that's not gonna be too much what he wants.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
As we're coming into the final few laps, we'll actually switch back to Kurt. As I say that, Kurt is alongside Lock and Load, and he's going to try and do the switch back.
Can Kurt make a move? Can he go for the lead?
They will be coming on to the final lap, next lap round. So we will stay on this race for the rest of the time. Yep, because this is some extremely close racing. As Kurt is going to try the outside again, but once again, Lock and Load just seems to have the better line.
Really harassing him from the outside through that turn.
I think he needs to try and go up the inside, because the outside is just
not
working
leaving
for
him
him.
any room.
As we come across the start-finish line to start the final lap.
Leaders on final lap now.
Yep. As we're just seeing some comments coming in saying, are you allowed to go off track and not give it back? It seems like it. And also,
it seems like there's no penalty for it.
Yeah, as
you're giving 3 warnings.
Kurt is pushing him through this corner. He was right behind him. As Redding has also said, this is some Max Verstappen at Bahrain scenes. It really is. This battle also reminds me very much of the Charles Leclerc and Max race at Austria 2019.
Yes, that is totally true.
As Kurt is going to try and go on the outside. Kurt needs to stop trying to go on the outside. Kurt, go for the inside, man.
Yeah, Lock and Load's not leaving him any room on the inside to make a pass or a move or anything.
He's really not. He's going to try the outside once again and do the switchback.
Maybe he's just trying to look to get up the inside just a little bit so he can have the inside for the next turn.
He's got to be setting these corners up well before the corners even come, so he
we
can
got
have
a back
the better
marker
line.
coming up right now. Normac is going to have to move out of the way for this battle.
Yep. Normac, if you're listening, just a heads up, they are behind you, and they're closing in
And
at a
they're
rate of
fast.
knots. As Kurt is much faster than Lock and Load, he just can't get past as he's right behind him. None of
We
these...
got to give some credit here to Lock and Load. He is doing an absolute phenomenal job at defending.
Lock and Load has done some absolutely terrific defending here from Kurt, who is faster than him. He just cannot get past him.
Flashing the lights at Normac.
Yeah, as they are side by side. Will Kurt go for a lunge? He doesn't break early, and he's going to have the inside line coming in. Oh, no, he's not. He gets blocked up by Lock and Load as they're coming into the final corner. And it does look like Lock and Load is going to take this win.
Got this.
As Lock and Load comes around the final corner, he's not going to make any mistakes. Lock and Load comes across the line to take the win, followed closely.
With a great win.
Followed closely by
flashing
Kurt.
the lights.
Yeah, as Chris comes across the line.
I believe this race is not over yet, so we're going to switch back to that battle between the Only G and Dr. Benji.
Yeah, this battle is still going on. Chris comes across the line for 4th place, and Cam will come across for 4th. But we're just watching these guys, as this is the final battle on the field at the moment. Cam comes across the line for 4th place. I wonder, will Benji make any last lap lunges? This will be his last.
Doctor!
Oh, the Only G goes very wide. Benji goes out on the outside, and the Only G's
Benji's going to pick up that spot.
The Only G's going to have the inside though. This is some very close racing, guys. They're side by
Using
side.
that Mercedes power to get up next to him.
Yep, and this is.
But Rakem is going to use the draft too.
Yeah, Rakem's going to try.
He's coming into the mix.
Yep. As that just gives Benji the position.
Ooh, Benji going late on the brakes. He's going to go wide.
Rakem on the
Rakem
inside.
going to the inside.
Rakem out of nowhere, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think it's too little, too late. As Benji comes across the line and takes 7th place.
Benji going to pick up that spot.
Benji takes 7th place. The only G in 8th, and Rakim very close behind him. Is there anyone else out on track?
Very exciting.
Yeah, MRO, he was in that battle earlier, but he fell off the back.
Oh, Greenwood is spun it. He's been... No, we must have contact between... Who we have contact with? It must have been Richard and Greenwood.
Ratchet. Yeah, Ratchet and Greenwood.
Ratchet, yeah.
So back markers hitting each other. That's not what they would have wanted.
It looks like Greenwood's going to recover from that, but Ratchet, he's parked it.
Yeah, Ratchet is starting, or finishing even in 11th place, and... Oh wait, no, sorry. Greenwood finishing in 11th place, and Ratchet rounding off. He seems to have stopped. His engine's turned off, so Greenwood coming in 11th place.
Maybe he's trying to retire to the pit box, or...
So who's your driver of the day, man? I'm going to have to give it to Lock and Load for defending for so long against Kurt.
I don't know. I gotta disagree. I think I gotta give it to Kurt, because he had to make up a lot of time to catch up to Locked and Load.
Yes, he really did.
At one point, was he 3 or 4 seconds behind him, and then he just it all just went away.
At one point, he was like 13 seconds behind him.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then he did catch up. I'm gonna have to give it to Lock and Load. That defending from an obviously faster driver really paid off.
I do have to agree with you. He did a great job at it.
Yeah, as we're just looking at the comments, just as we're rounding up, just seeing Redding saying he has to give the position back Sebastian Vettel. Morgan saying good racing, guys, well done Kurt, and JR for cracking race, good recovery for G. G did have a good recovery. And Paul just chiming in saying great finish, that some nice close racing through the field. And I would be inclined to agree. That was a great finish to the end of the race.
That was a very exciting race. I was glad I was able to comment here with you.
Yeah, I'm glad I stood in as well, as the normal commentator Andy sadly was not here. Well, I believe. Do you have any final words, the Greek?
I believe not. Other than this has been an absolute amazing race. Just a great battles up and down the whole entire leaderboard.
Well, if anyone watching really enjoyed that race, just remember to join Motive Racing at the link. And also I'd like to quickly also thank the Patreons once again. I still don't have the list, but you know who you are. And thank you very much for supporting Motive Racing. Yeah.
If you guys want to stick around to see some more racing, the Touring Car Championship on Project Car 2 will be starting up here in a little bit. 3 o'clock, I believe, is the start time for Tier 2.
Well,
so stick around if you want to watch some more great racing.
That's for you. I will quickly get up the touring cars. It is 7 p.m. for Tier 2s, who will be commentated by Dan and Hunter. And then Tier 1s at 8 p.m. commentated by Matahimovic and KLF. So I would like to say thank you very much for everyone chiming in. And have a good night.
I think that went pretty well. Oh, there goes that.
Yeah, I mean, JR had a little, small formation at the end.
Saw that, yep.